Came to air, I spoke with syndicated columnist and author of the book Things That Matter, Charles Krauthammer, who says this is a critical moment between the United States and one of our best allies. Charles, your take on what appears to be a growing escalation in the war of words between the White House and the Prime Minister of Israel, and the White House's response to Netanyahu's acceptance of this invitation he received from John Boehner.
Well, what's astonishing is how personal and petulant is the administration response. Reducing this to a kind of schoolyard brawl. What prompted this, I think, at least on the part of the Speaker of the House inviting Netanyahu, is the unprecedented thing that happened just a few days earlier, even before the State of the Union, when the Prime Minister of Britain was here in the United States and admitted openly to lobbying senators on the nuclear issue. And he even admitted that's unprecedented. So on the one hand, you get the administration using foreign leaders to lobby Congress. And on the other hand, you're saying that it's somehow illegitimate, lack of protocol to invite the Israeli Prime Minister. And remember, the stakes are so different. For the British, this is sort of an abstract issue, possible threat way down the road. For the Israelis, this is life and death. The Iranians openly declare their intention, their mission to eradicate Israel. They write on their missiles, death to Israel, and they are obviously developing a bomb. So for the Israelis, this is whether the Jewish state will exist and whether another 6 million Jews will be wiped out. That's a very serious issue. I think the Prime Minister has a right to speak on it at a very critical moment in these negotiations.
It's clear that the White House doesn't appear to like Netanyahu. Not sure if Netanyahu feels much for Obama and Kerry, President Obama and John Kerry either. But the sort of petulance in the response about he better remember that Barack Obama has another year and a half left in office. I mean, have the relations between the United States, the White House, and Israel been this tense in recent history?
No, I don't think so. I think this president has less personal sympathy for Israel than any president in the history, the near 70-year history of Israel. And I think it shows. I mean, look at the way he's treated Netanyahu early in the administration, long before any of this. He had Netanyahu leave the White House by a rear entrance. The way that they have reacted whenever there's been some kind of argument over policy, they immediately have made it a personal issue. And I think that's when you allow that to intrude. Remember, the mission that a president has is to defend and advance the national interest of the United States. And when it becomes a personal thing, that gets in the way. Israel is our strongest ally in the region, democratic and committed to the West. Iran has been responsible for the deaths of thousands of Americans in Iraq and Afghanistan. The State Department itself says it's the largest, the biggest exporter of terrorism in the world. And Obama treats their leadership with utmost respect and treats Israel, our ally, with none.
In the meantime, Iran, as you write in your column this week, is on the march. I mean, this issue about which Israel is so concerned, and we say we are so concerned, is greater than just Iranian-Israeli relations. Iran is gaining power.
Well, the story that goes mostly unwritten is that the ones who are the most apoplectic about the rise of Iran, the fact that it looks as if Obama is ready to concede to them threshold nuclear status, are the Gulf Arabs. The Arabs have no deterrent. The Israelis at least have their own bomb. The Gulf Arabs are very rich and extremely weak. They rely and have for 2 generations on the United States. They not only see Obama essentially conceding the bomb to Iran, which will make it dominant and hegemonic in the entire region, but they look around and they see Iranian influence intruding itself in a whole stretch of states, going all the way from Iran to the Mediterranean, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and now, as of yesterday, Yemen to their south. If you look at the map, you see our friends, the Gulf Arabs and the Jordanians, they are now surrounded by Iran and its satellites. And that is happening apart from the nuclear issue. And they look at this and see the United States, this is in the Arab view, having abdicated and having withdrawn and now ready to go all the way and to allow Iran to go nuclear.